Yeah, now I'm only at the fucking telling a funny story, and you only start recording now. It's ridiculous. That's unprofessional, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I had Eddie waiting there a few minutes because I had my own microphone muted and I was there fucking talking. I'm not even using this, but this is here.
A prop, class little prop.
Yeah. When Rennie kept asking me, he's like, "What's your backdrop going to be?" I was like, "What the fuck off?" But I like this chair I have. We got this fucking beautiful Spanish Armada sort of chair.
That looks like something out of a Protestant church or something, man.
It does actually, but what was it? We got it out of a charity shop in Navan. 180 for fucking 6. You're going off top.
6 of them, really?
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, charity shop in Navan, hit it up. Anyway, welcome to Stranger Danger. I'm your host, Jefferson Strange, Jeff Strange, whatever you want to call me. And of course, if we're looking at alternative Irish music, who else is going to ask to be the first guest but the one himself, Eddie Nilz.
Yeah, the self-styled Liberace of DIY punk.
You hear that clapping there?
Just clapping. Oh my god.
I think so. That's the voices are back.
If you got locked up.
Alright, so it's kind of a fucking deep dive because I've listened to a fair few of your podcasts. Like I loved fucking Nail Boy Mouse. I was actually looking for it on Spotify, but you only had that on Mixcloud, didn't you?
Oh, it was only on Mixcloud, yeah. Well, you have to fucking pay for it to get up on fucking Spotify, like, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, well, for the new one, for the film one, we did, yeah.
Oh, so this isn't going up on Spotify now, do you tell me that?
Like, we honestly, we should have just done the other one we did, the film one, we should have just done it on YouTube and Mixcloud because it's free, like, you know, so.
Yeah. Is that for the Dublin Crust movie?
No. I did another podcast called Idiots Who Watch Stuff. It was
yeah. I remember that with Chris George and all that.
Yeah, Big Chris, yeah.
How's he doing?
He's great, yeah. He's fucking. I was only out drinking with him there a while ago. He's fucking great, yeah. He's in fucking great form.
As you can tell, it's quite a casual interview.
He has some stories, man. That guy has lived a fucking life, you know.
I loved it. His episode in Neville now was the first I heard, where he was like the tail popping trucker and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like he was involved in Black Hawk Down, that fucking incident and everything. Like, what the fuck? Like,
and then I remember you had your old drummer who had that story where like his image was used by some modern fella.
Yeah, still happening. Still happening. Yeah, it only fucking popped up on his feed there the other day. But like people that know him all over the world, as soon as they see a picture of him, like from that photo shoot, they send it to him. You know, say, "Here, listen, your man's at it again." Still happening, yeah. Fucking mad. Nothing you can do about it.
Right, because he signed something, did he?
Signed the fucking waiver and never read it, yeah.
Yeah. That's
always right thing.
I think everyone would do. What's that?
Oh yeah, sign what? Although now when he had me, we just did a film with him earlier on this year, and he had me. He was trying to get me to sign a waiver for that, and I wouldn't do it. I did it in the end. I did it in the end. I was just fucking with him.
Whenever I sign something, I try to use like shit handwriting. Like,
yeah.
Like, that wasn't me. Look at that. Like, I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest with you, that happened, but it wasn't on purpose. It was because I was absolutely like drunk. The fucking thing. It's like a little scrawl on it.
Yeah. Like doctors fucking writing.
Yeah. This is inadmissible in court, right?
Yeah. And if you edit this out, yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be working overtime on this. But yeah, right back to the baby days. Like, do you remember the first time you kind of like music caught you or?
Music, yeah. Fucking hell. When I used to come home from school, this is like street cred right out the fucking window. I'd have to put on my parents or my dad's dinner, my brother's dinner, because my mom worked late, like, so it was always me cooking the dinner. But I put on like something in the oven, and excuse me, sorry. I'd put on A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles and sing it out the window of the parlor. I knew every single fucking lyric on it. I think I just thought it was a brilliant album at the time, like, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's still like there's still some great tunes, and it's a bit creepy the lyrics now when you go back and you know.
And that's probably the Lennon shit. He was always kind of the more unhinged.
Yeah, when you do it, when you really get into the lyrics, you're like, this is a bit. But like, you know, it's different times or whatever. But like, yeah, that was kind of like the first time I got into any sort of music. Like, properly. Like, you know, that's like that album was big for me. And then the
That's
first
pretty,
album
that's
I
pretty
ever
good.
with that album. Well,
Yeah, well, like first, like, if someone just asked me that, I'd say fucking my dad playing Garth Brooks or something. So yeah, you beat me.
no, I hated that shit. Like, I always hated that shit. Yeah, that and some of the traditional stuff was all right. Like, but it was the Beatles that album. But that particular album by the Beatles. Now, I wouldn't be mad on like the later stuff or anything like that. You know, I didn't do any of the experimental stuff. Never really got me. Like, you know,
None of the Sgt. Pepper stuff, no.
none of that. Like, yeah, or White Album or anything like that. Like, you know, never got me. Just straight rock and roll, really. Like that. Like,
Yeah, it was a lot simpler. That was the early ones.
Very simple. Yeah. Well, I mean, simple.
Prototype punk, even was it?
Huh?
Prototype or punk, was it? Just 3 chords, bang it out.
It wasn't fucking far off it. Like, you know, I mean, when you see that, when you listen to some of that covers of Chuck Berry, like they're like live, they're fucking wild. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Like there was a band a while ago going around called the Pacifics that were very like early Beatles, and they're fucking excellent live, but they were wild live now. Fucking wild. Irish band, yeah. I think they're from Dublin. I think they might still be going, but I haven't heard anything of them lately now. Used to play Wheelings the whole time, like, you know.
Oh, right. And then how did you evolve from that into punk? Or?
Well, but no, not really. The first album I think I ever bought myself was like Theatre of Pain by Motley Crue.
And they're a certain age though, they look cool or something like that. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, it was the fact that I had a pentagram under the front of it.
Yeah. Their image is a lot fucking more interesting than their fucking sound.
Big time. Yeah, and that is one of their worst albums, by the way.
I think Home Sweet Home's on that, isn't it?
Home Sweet Home's on, and that is my karaoke song now. To this day, yeah. I still belt that out in the karaoke.
You used to have to guess a lot more. Like pre-Spotify, you're guessing with buying albums, aren't you? You just look at what has the coolest cover.
That was it. Yeah. And I convinced myself then that I liked them because I had paid the money to buy the fucking album, like, you know. But
so you give an album so much more of a chance if you had to fucking.
Oh, big time, yeah. You're fucking wearing that tape. It was on tape now, like, you know, it was a cassette. Like, I was fucking wore it out, like, you know. My brother was fit to kill me. Like, if I hear that fucking song one more time, smoking in the fucking boys' room.
So when did punk come in then? Was it much later?
Yeah, well, I was kind of like maybe 16, I think. I heard of a guy gave me a fucking Sex Pistols album, you know, fucking Nevermind the Bollocks. I thought it was good, and I said, "Oh, well, what is punk then?" And the first band I came across was the Buzzcocks, and that just like it was like hearing the Beatles, except the punk, like for me. You know what I mean? They were like poppy tunes, they're really catchy, great lyrics, you know. So that kind of hooked me then, and like I wasn't into any of the other sort of political stuff until much later, like, you know. So it was really Buzzcocks and stuff like that I really liked. And started with songs then about that sort of, like, started playing guitar and trying to write stuff like that then, you know.
You play guitar, do you?
Well, play guitar. You know what I mean? There's people that can play guitar. I can't play guitar. I'd write a song on a guitar, but I wouldn't know what I'd fucking written. That sort of way, like, you know. Whereas, like, if I bring it down to the lads in the studio and say, "Oh, I wrote this song, blah blah blah," they'll know what the fuck I'm at, like, and they'll be able to transpose it. And well, Chris is the main man for that. Like, really, like, I show him what I've written on the guitar, and he'll transpose it for everybody else, and we'll then structure it all together, like, you know. So it's like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
They'll always be curious about, like, frontmen, what if they play anything or what they know, because like I've seen some frontmen who you wouldn't have a clue, and then they're like virtuosos in the fucking guitar and shit like that. You just never know because they're always just doing the frontman thing.
Yeah, if you don't get a guy that doesn't, a fella that's not playing a fucking instrument or whatever, like, yeah. No, I'd never say like that I could play, like, you know. It's like I mentioned in fucking practice one day that I was gonna go get lessons, and Chris fucking lost the plot, and he was like, "Don't ever fucking do that, like, because you're gonna ruin your fucking whatever it is you have, like, you know." And he wasn't gonna call it talent, like, you know. He was like, whatever it is you have inside you, like, you're gonna fucking ruin it by learning how to play things, like, you know, the way you're supposed to play them. Like, you see, don't do that, like, you know. So
Yeah, I've been at that a long time myself. I was like, really kind of, because I don't really have a clue what I'm doing, but it's like if you start figuring out, because there's all kind of rules nearly, you can break them.
Yeah,
I think if you start
exactly.
thinking that way, it becomes a lot more fucking rigid or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what he was worried about. Like if I learn a blue scale, I would only write in the blue scale then, because that's what I knew. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what a scale is or
Yeah.
a key or anything like that.
I don't have the key shit either, and yeah, because sometimes we were asked that, like some fella was offering the records for free, and he's like, I just need to write down what key is that in. That's like, I don't fucking know, like what's our
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember somebody asked me one time, "Who writes your melodies?" And I was like, "What's a fucking melody?" I hadn't a clue. Like, I was being dead honest. Like, it wasn't a joke or anything. I was like, "What is a melody?" Oh, please explain it to me, and I might be able to tell you.
Yes. And when was your first band then? Really?
First band, I think I would have been about 20 when we got Mongo Horn together. It wasn't called Mongo Horn at the time, but the genesis, I don't know what it was called. It was like Toasted Souls or something ridiculous, like some terrible name, like, and there was a couple of us, we were mates and we got together, and we had a bit of a falling out, and the drummer knocked me fucking front teeth out. And I took a break from obviously singing because I had to get my fucking jaw realigned and all that. Like, and then when we came back, it was like the fucking name shit. Like, let's change the name. We came up with Mongo Horn then, like, but it was the same band, really, like,
Yeah.
Then the drummer was still in the band, by the way, after breaking the jaw.
Was it hard did he pay for it to get fixed?
He gave me a little bit of money, not very much. He ended up moving to London now or something, like, or England somewhere.
Did you ever crack him back?
No, I didn't know. He was a hell of a lot bigger than me.
Oh, right.
No, like, he was a tough guy, like,
Oh, right. Baseball that job.
Yeah, it's like if I had tried, like, I'd have definitely lost it, like,
Big fights.
Exactly, yeah. I'm a lot smarter than I look, Jeff, It takes time to look this terrible, like.
A lot of talk goes into it. And I watched actually like lots of your Mongo Horn stuff on YouTube, and like a lot of places you're playing, like that seems like as DIY as it gets, like, because a lot of even calling the venues, they just kind of look like a lot of rooms that have been turned into somewhere to get.
Yeah, well, it literally was, and I know there's certain people in the scene are not going to like me telling the story, but the Thomas House wasn't a venue until we made it a venue. Like, we arrived up there, and the guys running it at the time were fucking bang on. It was an Aussie guy called Shane and an American guy called Chris. And we asked them, like, you have a fucking room downstairs, can we put gigs on it? Like, you're not doing fucking anything with it. And they were like, it's in bits. And we were like, oh, yeah, give a fuck, like, will you let us do it? And he was like, yeah, we give it to you for free, like, if you bring heads in. Because we weren't getting gigs with the only gigs we were getting, right, with and I'm really fucking grateful for this, but it was with psychobilly bands like the Mosquitoes. Willow gave us our first fucking gig, actually, and they were great gigs. And Frankie Hayes then from Spellbound sort of got us this like monthly sort of fetish night gig, which was great down the Voodoo.
And how did you get those early gigs? Like, was it just from being out?
It was literally just fucking drinking with these guys, like, It was like the guitarist knew Willow, and then through Willow we met Frankie, like, because Willow was like, yeah, you want to see these headbangers, like, because we come out in fetish gear and fucking chains and everything and gimp masks and all, like. I was setting myself on fire on stage. Well, not setting myself on fire, but like I was getting like a can of Lynx and burning my chest hair, and the smell of it, like, was like,
Lynx Africa, was it?
It was fucking, I don't know what the fuck it was.
I was actually looking into, Gibby Haynes was talking about the best way to like set yourself on fire. I was kind of reading up about it. Is it rubbing alcohol burns at the lowest temperature or something?
Rubbing alcohol, is it?
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, you kind of have like the 3 seconds of 1,000, 2,000, then you start feeling it. But he's like, it's better than fucking the other stuff. Might just, like lighter fluid will fucking scald you pretty fast.
Oh yeah. I made the mistake of putting aftershave on one time before a gig, and my neck went up, like, yeah, that was horrible. Now that was fucking horrible.
Just have like a little beard of fucking fire.
I'd fucking nothing. I'd like, it was like all the fucking hair and everything went up, like, just. Jesus. I was fucking scalded on my neck, like, for ages. But the fucking, that That's what you have to put up with. But yeah, the Thomas house was just literally a fucking room. It didn't have a desk. It had like one speaker that worked that was sitting on the wall, and we'd bring like 2 speakers with us and put them either side of the stage and bring our own desk with us. No monitors or anything like that, you know. But it was because we weren't getting punk gigs, like, you know, so we decided, right, we'll just do our own thing.
Was there punk gigs going?
Yeah, there was. Yeah. There was kind of 2 scenes like there is now. There was like the kind of right on scene, and then there was like the scene that was up in the temple on Temple Street. That was more like Paranoid Visions and stuff like that, like, you know.
Yeah.
They were all kind of running that. I think it might be John Foley, actually, Toxic John, that was running that stuff. It was Toxic Promotions at the time. Now, they were great gigs, like, they were wild, but for some reason we just never felt welcome, or we never got a gig with them, like, you know. They just, I don't know what it was. Neither side now, by the way.
Yeah.
So we just started our own scene, and it was great. It was great. And, like, no punks. It was mad. There was no punks at all. Like, there was all these girls that come down. They were like worked on Brown Thomas and all that, and there was like all sorts of transsexuals and transvestites and everything coming down. It was fucking great because everybody was welcome. We didn't give a fuck. Like, we didn't give a flying fuck who you were, what you looked like, what you were into. Once you fucking came in the door and had a good time and were cool, like, you weren't trying to fuck
people coming on a bit of a whim, wouldn't it? Because they wouldn't have been able to hear your music anywhere, so they just know there's a gig downstairs.
MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
That's how old I am.
I vaguely remember. It never really took off over here, though, did it?
No, it wasn't as big, I don't think. But like, our posters used to be, you know, fucking offensive. Do you know what I mean? We would put up posters that would offend people, and that get other people that like that sort of shit interested in us, like, you know, and then they'd come down to the gig and stuff like that, you know. But it was really word of mouth, like, you know. It's like, you gotta see these fuckers, they're mental, like, and they play in a place where there's no bouncers. That's just fucking, you do what you want, like, you know.
Yeah, it's a good selling point that way, isn't it? You don't get fucked out.
That was it. Like, the only thing it was missing was bring your own bottle, but you couldn't do that in the pub.
Yeah. Tell me this, you know, it's for putting posters and shit up. If you do it now, they're gone the next morning. Like, you put a rake of posters in town, and then I'm walking through it the next day, and they're all just fucking gone.
Oh, we had some posters taken down now. Do you remember Eamon Doran's?
Yeah.
We were playing there one time when we posted it, and now it was an extremely offensive poster. Like, no. But I got a phone call from the manager going, "Don't put up them posters again." So I went in and put them up again. Like, that's the sort of cunts we were back then. I had balls as big as fucking, you know. So yeah, I got another phone call from her. "Did you come in and put posters back up?" I was like, "I did." She goes, "They're all gone. Don't do it again. You're wasting your time."
I just play dumb. I'm like, "No, who the fuck's doing that?"
Yeah, we posted the whole opposite wall of every fucking shop opposite. We fucking posted. A drummer used to work in a tattoo shop across the way, man. He was getting grief. People coming in the door like, "That fucking poster in your window. Take that down." Like, he's saying that's the singer.
That's good. And why did Mungo Home finish?
I kind of just had enough, I think, you know. I was putting my body through a hell of a lot at the time.
Even more than you are now, like.
Yeah, it was like, I think drinking wise as well, I was drinking a lot that people didn't know about, like, you know. Yeah. You know,
wasn't such a day, like.
No, and I hate saying it this way, right? But you ever hear like imposter syndrome? It was kind of like that. Of course, I was like, because the person I was on stage in Mungo Home was like a character. Do you know what I mean? And then off stage, I started to be that character because people wanted you to be that. Like, they'd meet you, and like, I'm actually kind of quiet, and I let you talk, and there's no problem. I no problem listening. I just like getting drunk and that. But people don't want that from you, you know, when they meet you. They want that fucking character on stage, you know. So I started doing that, and then I started creeping into, like, you know, I shat myself at Christmas dinner one day, like, one time, like, you know, like in front of my family. I thought it was funny, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?" Like, you know. So that, like, you know, that's when you start saying, "All right, there's something wrong in here, so I need to fucking step away from this." So I did, and that's when I found martial arts and kickboxing and stuff like that, and that really calmed me down, like, you know. Because you used to be an asshole when I was drunk, like, I'd be fucking trying to fight you and all, like, if I didn't like you. What a dickhead, like, you know.
That's Yeah, that's fucking good enough. I do get that imposter syndrome though. I think that's kind of I think a lot of people don't talk about, but a lot of people feel like even in just fucking regular jobs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows it.
Well, I felt like awful pressure on me to be, that front man all the
like to
time.
be a wild man all the time. Like,
Yeah.
Milk. It's like, oh, look, somebody's gonna fucking throw the milk at some cunt's head or something.
It's like you're expected to do it, that sort of thing. I was like, I'm not gigging at the moment. I'm just out for a fucking point. No. You have to be the one that eats the fucking lizard at the bar, or you have to be this, or you have to be that. Like, you know what I mean? So fuck that, like, So I had to get myself out of that, like,
The computers asked me to upgrade already. Museum.
I say that, yeah. It's like 10 minutes left.
It's like, yeah, I'm on 4 questions, you pricks.
Yeah. Well, here, let's just keep going until it stops, and then we'll restart it again. Or you can edit it out, like,
Oh yeah, I was half tempted to fucking just pay for it. That's
not so I'll set up a meeting. We can go for as long as we want, like,
All right, nice one. What else was I? A lot of losing me trying to talk because of the fucking technology. And then how long was it in between Mongo Horn and the Nilz then?
It felt like fucking 10 years, but I think it was only like 4 or 5, But it did feel like a lot longer than it actually was when I go back. And I'm terrible at dates and years and stuff like that, like, So like I honestly felt like it was 10 years in between the two bands, but I think it's only about 4 or 5 years,
How long did Mongo Horn go for? Was it about 7, 8?
Mongo Horn's gone for about 10 years, 11 years around that.
And did you announce any kind of breakup, or was it just you were saying?
No, we did. I quit the band after this terrible gig we did in Drogheda. We'd done this amazing gig in Dublin, and then we went and we played, and there was like 6 people in Drogheda, and we're like, why am I fucking doing this? And this girl got up to whip me, and she nearly took me fucking eye out with the whip, and I was like, it's not worth it. This shit's not worth it, like,
I think that gig is on YouTube. Huh? I think that gig might be on YouTube. I think I seen Mongo Horn and Drogheda or something like that.
Oh, we played there a couple of times. I don't think the last one is on now, to be honest with you, because it was really bad. It was like
yeah. But like the performance, or just kind of how everything felt?
Performance wise, it wasn't great. Like, and then at one stage, I don't know what was happening, but our bass player was getting electric shocks on one side of the stage, so he stood on the same side of the stage as the guitarist. And I didn't notice now that he was getting electric shocks. Like, so I turned around and said, "The fuck are you fucking standing that side of the stage for, you loser?" Like, like really laid into him. Yeah, like really fucking laid into him. And I was like, I just had enough, at that stage, and that was like, so we done, see you later. And then a year after that, I got a fucking email from this, was it me or it might have been Baz actually got the email about doing this Polish barbecue in January, like, doing dog race course. And we were like, well, it just sounds ridiculous. Let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
So he says, we're coming back for that. I want to do a farewell gig in Dublin. So we came back a year later and I did 2 farewell gigs. Like, one of them dog was an absolute joke. It was an absolute joke. It was drinking. Like, I arrived there, I think maybe 2 o'clock in the day, and drinking straight off, like, on the fucking lash. And then I think we played at maybe 10:30 that night, and we were fucking rag order playing. But it was really weird. It was a venue where all these metal bands and punk bands were on, and next door was like this children's entertainment sort of section. Like, yeah, with clowns and.
Who was running the thing?
I don't know. It's like just some sort of Polish fucking community thing or something like that. It was like trying to get all the Polish people in Dundalk together for this. Yeah. Whatever. It could be a national holiday or something like that. I don't know. I'm just much of an asshole. I didn't even fucking ask about it.
How is it different from like a fucking Irish barbecue? Is it just the meat they eat or some shit?
In fucking January.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
It was fucking freezing, man. It was like nobody going outside to the barbecue. Do you know what I mean? Like, the barbecue wasn't inside.
Yeah,
it was outside in January. Like, it was fucking freezing, man.
They're tough people, aren't they? They probably didn't give a bollocks.
They didn't give a fuck, yeah. Yeah.
And then, what you say, 4 or 5 layers, and then the Nilz starts? And what?
Yeah, the Nilz started. A guy you used to hang around with, during the Mongo Horn years, he was in a band, I can't think of the fucking name. But we'd never sort of been in a band together, and he was like, "Oh, come on back and fucking do this, do that." I was like, "I don't know." And I picked up a guitar and I wrote a song immediately, and I was like, "All right, well, there's something in there, like, you know." So we started rehearsing. We were rehearsing for nearly a year before we did a gig, like, because I was kind of really, I didn't really want to do a gig, but I think it's a good way to be anyway, because you get tight, you know, for when you come out of the blocks, like you're tight as fuck, like, you know. Well, he left then after about. No, you would. Well, like punk bands have to be tight. If they're not tight,
Yeah.
But he left then after 3 gigs. He got real weird. He was fucking lying to us about his health and all that, like, you know. And then turned out he was like a fucking right winger and everything. It was just it was a nightmare. So I was delighted he left. But when he left, the night he left, actually, the last gig he did was Chris, that plays bass with us now, came up to me, goes, "Ah, here, you're looking for a guitarist." And I knew Chris a while, because when I was in Mongohorn, he was in a band called Septic Pussy. And like the two of us played, we were always going like, "We gotta play together. We've got to get like Mongohorn and Septic Pussy on the same poster." Like we did then. It was fucking, you know, I always laugh about that. But like, he came up to me, goes, "I think it's about time I was in another band." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, sweet." Because I knew he was a killer. Like, he's an absolute brilliant musician, like, you know. So I was delighted. And that's when the band really started, to be honest with you. You know, when he joined. Because we became like a proper fucking band, like, you know.
And what were the first gigs with the Nilz that you kind of did?
The very first one was like, you ever heard of King Kong Club?
Yeah.
With the clapometer and all that. Yeah. You get 15 minutes on stage. Yeah. So that was the first thing we did.
Is it?
They were doing it in the American Toil at the time, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was it like
I
gigging
don't know. In the American Toil?
Yeah, it's very small, isn't it? Well, not that that's
big. No, it's actually quite a big venue.
I've been half cut when I was in there. Like, oh, small.
No, at the time it was quite big. Like, you know, that's what we were doing today. It was only 15 minutes, but like it was still good. Like, you know, and people weren't expecting us to do what we did. Like, I was pouring candle wax in my face and all that. Like, you know, that was a good little setup, because he interviews you before you do the gig, like, which is pretty cool. Like, you know.
Yeah, what's your man's name again? Blonde-haired fella, isn't it?
Kieran Campbell, or Kieran Campbell Black, or Black Campbell or something.
Did you just get through?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, neither did we. I just remember like, there was some young one kind of like chatting him up the whole night, and then we knew we were fucked. Like, and she just went up there and played 2 songs on the ukulele, and she got through. Because you're able to vote. You got a drink token with every drink, and so we were up there fucking like necking them. We're absolutely through. We've been fucking gone flying through these. We didn't.
Yeah. We did 2 battles of the bands with Mongohorn, because we were never into that sort of shit, like, you know. But one we did was, it was run by a guy that we knew, and we had sold him like a fucking mixing desk, like old school 70s mixing desk, made of fucking wood. Like, I'd say the thing was worth fucking $2,000. We sold it to him for like fucking, I think it was 100 quid, and he gave us 50 quid, right? I said, "I'll give you the other 50, like, you know, in a week." I said, like 50 quid, for fuck's sake, you can't afford that. Like, we're after fucking getting you this fucking thing, like, you know, the way of it and everything. Like, it was proper fucking mixing this. And then he was running the Battle of the Bands, and he's like, "I entered into this Battle of the Bands, so, you know, the fucking first prize was 50 quid. So we entered into it, right? I'm not messing you. This band came down from Derry, and they were fucking amazing. They were absolutely amazing, all the way from Derry, right? And we won it, and they fucking freaked out. It was like, and we only won it because he owed us 50 quid. Like, it's absolute class. Yeah.
And he got free.
So then there was another one going on down in Voodoo, where if you got through, you got to this big metal festival in Germany or something like that. And this is a lot of me bollocks. It was all like what you call it? How many fucking people can you bring? It was a popularity contest. So we went in, we played our fucking holes off, and brought a shitload of people. And the bands on it were so much better than us, and they were metal bands. They were great. They were fucking perfect for exactly what, you know, the fucking festival was about. Yeah. And we ended up winning it, like, and it's like, it's absolute bullshit. So we put out a big post, like, and said we wouldn't be fucking, you know, going anywhere, that we wouldn't be fucking collecting the prize or anything like that, like, you know. So it's all bullshit. It's a popularity contest because we knew we weren't as good as these other bands. Like,
Fair folks is.
Yeah, well, we just want to highlight the fucking bullshit that was going on with it.
Like most people would have fucking bothered and they were doing like nice ones years later.
Yeah. Well, we were a little bit different. Like it was really not giving a fuck was our modus operandi.
No, you respect that. What was it? There we go.
Can you hear me? Yeah,
I can. Yeah.
This is it. Have we started?
Nick, you can smooth all the shit out, can't you? But anybody wondering, I'm too cheap to pay for the fucking upgrade. Depending on if we do a couple more ideas, see how it goes.
No, you can just edit it. That was perfect ending to the fucking to that whatever that was. Just edit it in when you're gone.
Well, I stood up and whipped them. We flew. I don't know. It's a weird one. But I remember everywhere you were just saying the Mongo horn, the German Battle of the Bands thing. What was is there any like your favorite part of Mongo horn that you look back on? Is there any like specific moments that was like the best?
Oh, fucking hell. There's shitloads of fucking mad shit that happened. The gig we did in Doncaster Racecourse was fucking nuts. I set myself on fire and the fire alarm. It was like a tattoo convention. And I set myself on fire on stage during the gig, and the fire alarm for the whole building went off. The whole fucking
was it a nighttime gig or a daytime gig? Like,
no, it was all there. Like it was over sort of 3 days. It was like a tattoo festival.
Yeah.
And there was like 2 days of gigs, the Saturday and the Sunday. And we were playing the Saturday sort of afternoon, evening, I think it was. And there was some good bands, but like we stood out because we were fucking nuts. Like, nobody was doing the shit we were doing at the time.
Was there horse racing going on?
No. You could sit out on the stands though with a few cans. It was great. But set the fucking fire alarm for the whole building off, and the security were running around seeing who did it, and somebody had ratted on us, and we were backstage. Then our drummer had collapsed because of the fucking heat of the place. He's just gone. And the sound engineer came running in. He said to me, they're looking for you. Get under the table. So he got under the table and they put a cloth over the table, like a fucking tablecloth. And it's like something that will fucking carry on. And all I could hear was, "Where's that little prick gone?" We catch him and kill him. And Andy's like, "I don't know, he's gone. He went out to the stands. Fucking gas, yeah. So it's just avoiding security then for the rest of the day. Like, that was funny. But then our second album launch, we did it in. Do you remember Always Like Butts?
No, I've heard that name, boy. That's probably that's
what
the Simpsons.
A few stories that happened down there. I'll get into as well. But our second album launch, we did it in this place called Radio City, which was right beside Always Like Butts. It was kind of the bigger venue that they built onto it, and it was fucking class spot. Like, it was absolutely brilliant venue. But they were absolute cunts to us. They ran out of beer, started selling cans over the fucking over the counter at the same price as a fucking.
Yeah, that was my first question as a drink.
Dickheads, like fucking dickheads.
And you said you would walk in with cans though, because you wouldn't know. You'd be like, "No, I bought that." Like, you're selling cans.
And they had a meathead at the door, man. The fucking guy, Jesus Christ, he was so aggressive with people, like, Then one of our mates, he was really fucking drunk, shat on the floor, like. I was asking him, like, we knew it was him, like, he couldn't have been anybody else, like, he couldn't have been anybody else. And we were asking him, like, about 2 weeks later, like, what the fuck? Like, I said, when he was like trying to grab one of the monitors and smash it, and we kicked the fuck out of him for doing it. When you kicked the fuck out of me, I got real pissed off. So I went over and I sat on the side of the couch and I shit on the floor. I was like, wow. That's the level
you got away with it in real time now, which is a bit.
Oh yeah. Like, the end of the night, it was like. Yeah.
When you see yourself on fire, like, did the arm go off? Was there like a brief flicker of fire, or were you fucking like engulfed in the shit? Or...
Well, yeah, I used to get this. You know the fucking see-through lighters, and you can fucking fiddle with them to make the flame really big.
Yeah.
Fucking lashed it kind of links onto me, so it would really go up. But like, I used to grow my chest hair out, so it would like go on fire.
Yeah, oh really?
So it was the smoke from that set off the fucking fire alarm, like, you know.
Do you have any fucking burn marks from all this shit?
With fucking scars all over me, dude. Fucking all over me. I nearly lost a fucking nipple there in fucking Belfast, some country. I started stapling things to myself now, like, you know. Some cunt grabbed the fucking staple gun at me and tried to get it into me nipple, like, you know, just lashed a load of them in. I was like, fuck's sake, man, you know. I have to watch it with that now. That's dangerous shit, because if I get one of them BI, I'm fucked, like, you know. So,
oh yeah, fuck me, yeah.
I shouldn't have said it now. Somebody's gonna try and fucking get me. People love to fucking like hurt me, do you know what I mean? They fucking love it.
Yeah, people are. I don't know. There's a lot of people that are just dying to like hit someone, and if they see a chance to get away with it, they'd be like, "Yeah, fucking kick this cunt in the ribs or something." Like
that's it. Yeah. We used to do that as well at the end of Mongahorn. We got tired of like playing with bands where singers were going down their knees and being like, "Oh, you know, all this," and everything was about the singer. So we were like, "Well, let's be anti that." Like, and at the end of the gigs, the lads used to kick the living shit out of me. And the first time we did it, it was so. You know, they didn't hit me. They were just pretending. I was like, let's never do that again, because that's embarrassing. Like, if you're gonna fucking do it, like, actually fucking kick the shit out of me. Like, I was like coming home with broken ribs and everything. Like, Andy jumped on me one time down the voodoo and broke me ribs. Like, it's like, yeah. There was a picture of me in Whelan's, like the first time we played in Whelan's, the night we got barred. At the end of it, everybody had just piled on top of me, and you can just literally see my shoes like sticking out from underneath this massive pile of people. It was like, you know, the Wizard of Oz when the house lands on the witch and fucking toes curl up. It was like that.
And he's still bad from Whelan's, as far as you know.
No. Well, I'd say the band name would be like, you know, but I'm not actually barred from Whelan's.
All right. So, do you reckon Mongahorn is barred or the Nilz are barred?
We've never. I don't know, to be honest. We're not really in that scene, like, so. I doubt the Nilz would be barred, like, you know what I mean. I've definitely been in there for a few points and all that, like, but as Mongahorn now, we were giving our money at the end of the night, and we're like, don't ever come back. yeah, but you know, he was in there actually that night. It was a bit of a riot going on. Paul Brady, you know that guy,
the singer, is it?
Yeah.
My mom was going out with a bloke called Paul Brady, and that's the only reason I know. It's like, everybody was certain fucking singer.
No, the fucking Irish singer-songwriter, you know, be in Ireland or something like that, whatever the fuck he wrote. He was in there, yeah. His arms crossed, look at him. Don't know about this. Yeah. He's spitting on people and fucking throwing gargle at everybody. Yeah, fucking mad.
That's gas. I was going to say, like, your live shows have always been mental. Do you think like enough bands put enough fucking like emphasis on it? Because there's a lot of times you wouldn't really be arsed going to see a lot of bands because you're like, they're just going to get up there and play the instruments. So even with like strangers, like, we need to fucking get weirder. Like.
Yeah. I love what you do because it's different. Like, you know what I mean? Again, like, it's not. You go see some bands and it's the same set, right? And we're the same set now. Don't get me wrong. We play the same songs for, I don't know, a year or so, and then we'll change up our set. You guys might play the same songs, but you come out in different costumes, you do different shit on stage, you say different things, like, you know, whereas other bands just go through the motions the whole time, like, you know. You see that like 3 or 4 times, and like, even if it's a good band, you kind of like, yeah.
I guess, yeah. Well, we used to be on a fucking patch on music. We're trying to get like fucking weird. I want to buying a bit of shit like projectors and shit like that, but I don't think like people don't really like. Do you know, everyone just focuses on the chord and the record and all that. I was like, you fucking live and die by the live show. Like, especially like your reputation live is fucking like unparalleled. Like, we're talking about who's good live. Like, anyone I know would say like the fucking Nilz is where they start with. A lot of other bands are like, yeah, they're grand would be like the answer. Like, yeah, they're grand. They play their set, like, but
yeah, there's kind of an element of danger though with us.
Yeah, one of it needs that. That's kind of rock and roll, like.
Yeah. And you want to say we played this festival in fucking Kildare recently, a punk festival.
Got the GGO yoke.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
And
How was that?
I'd gotten out. It was great. It was fucking great. But I'd gotten out of it beforehand, and I was frenzied, like going on stage. I was fucking like, I was up for
Yeah,
everything and anything. And I think the crowd kind of fed off that energy. That's what you need. Like, you know, it's like if you're that energy you're giving out, they'll give you back. Like, you know,
yeah.
if it's a good crowd.
Yeah, the crowd a lot of time makes the show. Like, you can go see a band and they'd be shit, but the crowd's going fucking mad, and it'd be like, oh, they were great live. It's like the crowd were great, the band were shit. Like, but like it works because everybody was so into it. Like,
yeah, it's that energy. You know, like we try and give off that energy at the start, rather than waiting for them to get into it. Like, we're trying to get them into it. You know, because that makes us even fucking wilder. Then, like, you know,
but like,
that was frenzy.
Do you ever find those gigs like where you were giving out sucks and just nobody gives a fuck? Like,
yeah, we did that for years. That's like before COVID, like a lot of gigs were like that, you know.
That's good. In part of it's kind of fun though, because like it's like this concert happening, we've nothing to lose here, because like what's going to happen, they're going to like us even less. So you can be
yeah. I think you just play for yourself then if like that's the case. Like, if you don't like it, whatever, fucking. What can you do, you know?
Yeah. What else was I going to ask you? Yeah, Buddycore. What's the latest on that?
Buddycore kind of took a hit when DDT sort of burnt down. It didn't burn. It got gutted. Like, but
what's the latest on DDT actually? I know you.
I don't know. I haven't been talking to Dave or Kel, but I did hear they were supposed to be back in November, but I can't really see that happening, to be honest with you. Like, you know, I fucking really hope they are. You know, I really fucking hope they are. Everybody should be getting behind that GoFundMe for them, like to get that place back up and running, because it was a safe place or safe space for everybody and anybody. Like, you know, like you could put on any sort of show down there. Sorry.
Yeah, they're real open-minded. You had like music videos there, and so did Lugosi and stuff like that, didn't you?
We've done a couple of music videos there, yeah. But we put on festivals there. I've been at like burlesque shows, cabaret shows, comedy shows. Like, they cater for everything, you know.
Do they know what happens?
I don't know. It started at 4:00 in the morning. There was nobody in the place apparently. But you see, they did have a kitchen there, so there could be something with that, like, you know.
Yeah, I think initially it was kind of people were like, some cunt fucking have a vendetta against them or something.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised with that way there, like, you know.
But yeah, so that was kind of the home of Buddycore, so
it was, yeah. And then Fibbers were really kind to me and gave me a bunch of dates this year, so we got a couple of shows in. But I'm in talks with them again now to try and get a regular thing next year, and we're gonna try and bring Buddyfest back next year. But that was Buddyfest, for anybody that doesn't know, was like a 2-day punk festival that we put on, but it was all DIY, and we showcased sort of one sort of city each year. So the first year was Belfast, the next year was Cork, I think, or it might have been Galway and then Cork. But yeah, I think the next year was Cork or Galway and then Cork. Like, yeah, the last one we did was fucking brilliant. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. But like, we didn't overstretch ourselves. One year we overstretched ourselves. We got all these big bands and we lost a shitload of money. So the last one we did, we just kept it proper DIY. We got even the guys out from the Isle of Man, crotch slice, are fucking brilliant. But they brought a load of cunts over from the Isle of Man. They're mad bastards, like, you know. So just made it, like, you know. If you ever play over there, that's a great spot to play, actually.
Yeah, I was about to just ask about that, because I was over there once. My dad was a fucking mad biker head. I mean, we were all kids. He brought us over in like the camper van, and it felt like the Wild West a bit. Like, it felt kind of like lawless, and anything kind of fucking goes over there. It
is. It's like Bray on acid. Don't know, the place is fucking mad.
Yeah, I didn't think that. Yeah, so there's a punk scene there, is there?
There's quite a good punk scene there, yeah. And it's only because those guys made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the lead singer of Crosslights, I would call him Oil Man Mike, right? His name is just Mike. But he lived in Cork for years, and his band down there, Crewbin, they were all heads in the punk scene, like Wah, Bob, Chris. They were all fucking big heads, like, and they were all in the one band together. Like, so we did gig swaps with them a couple of times. We did mad gig swaps with them now, like, because they were crazy as well. Like, that band was fucking wild, like, you know.
And you do a fair bit of shit with Sweden, don't the Swedish lads, don't you?
Yeah, that came about really by accident. You know, there was a Swedish band over here called Zoo Party, or they wanted to come over here. I don't know who gave them my fucking details anyway. But I put on 2 gigs for them, one in Dublin and one in Belfast. Kind of with the, you know, here, listen, if I'm putting you on over here, you put us on over Sweden. And they were like, well, we don't put on gigs over in Sweden. I was like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
Like, put me in touch with somebody that does, like, you know.
Of course.
So they gave me 3 contacts, and Existence were one of the contacts there from Existence. And I was like, these guys have played with the UK subs and everything. Like, fuck, this is deadly. So fucking got onto him, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. So now yearly we do it. Like, we go over there, they come over here, like, you know. And the last one they did over here was brilliant. Now it was their 40th anniversary, and the 2 gigs were great. The gig in February was brilliant. Like, everybody came out and supported them, and then we did this proper fucking DIY gig up in Belfast. It was like just a room with, like, you know, the lads from the Skunts actually put it on. They're a great band. You should fucking, if you haven't seen them, like, they're another fucking wild. They're another wild band. We're like each other spirit animals, the two of us. Like, it's fucking, they're mad. But yeah, they put that on for us then, and that was great. Like, they're 2 great, really good gigs. Like, you know.
Actually, vaguely remember Rennick telling me, did you play like in like Czechoslovakia? This Rennick could be fucking wrong, but like in like Czech Republic or something like that, to like 10,000, or not, like a massive festival, massive outdoor.
Yeah, we played a huge big festival in Croatia. Well, it wasn't 10,000. Now it was, I think it was 4,000 people. Like, yeah,
sounds better if you say 10 though.
I know, yeah. It was like a skateboarding festival. Yeah, we got that through our mate Big V, that was Croatian. Like, but it was in his hometown. Like, so he got us on the bill. But that was a disaster of a gig. We actually ended up. Yeah, we're fucking after disaster. Our guitarist at the time, Gimp Boy, didn't bring a fucking distortion pedal, and there was only a clean channel on the fucking amp. So, like, you can imagine how pissed off we were. And then
the odds about when those things happen, like, even if you get your pedal, the amp only having a fucking clean channel, like, what's the fuck?
It wasn't that he forgot it; he didn't have one.
Oh, really?
What a dick! You know what I mean? It wasn't even that he forgot it; he just didn't own one. But, like, oh, so annoying, so fucking annoying. But that was the end of him. Like, we got rid of him out of the band after that, because his attitude was just, it just stank, like, on the day. The reason nobody would help us, because there was loads of other bands there, right?
Yeah, it's better.
Nobody could help us because his fucking attitude with everybody on the journey over, on the day of the actual gig, just fucking stank, like, you know.
Yeah.
So fuck that guy, like, no. Anyway, I'm not gonna say his real name because you'd fucking know him.
Oh, really?
Oh, let's say you know him. Yeah.
Whenever it's Ricky. That's a joke. So I didn't know you did records with Mongo Horn, because obviously I was just searching YouTube and all that, but he's actually did albums.
We did 2 albums, yeah.
Don't mean to be jumping so much in the questions. I'm just kind of.
No, I get it. It's grand. Yeah, 2 albums. I like the first one. There's a lot of raw stuff on the first one, you know. And the second one is kind of like we would try to, you know, we were getting better at songwriting and that. Like, so there is probably more melody on the second album, but I really like the first album, you know. We did the first album with Tommy O'Sullivan up in Ashtown Recording Studios, and that place, like, I don't believe in, like, afterlife or ghosts or anything like that, but that place is fucking haunted, man. That place scared the living shit out of me, man.
Is that the place that was kind of like a horse stable as well?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. The first band I ever did, like, straight out of school, I think they were doing some shit for 150 a day recording, and we got a couple of tracks on it with it. Are those albums available anywhere?
I have this shitload of the second one on CD. I don't think I have any of the first one on CD. But then, I don't even have, like, MP3s of them or anything like that. I'd say one of the other lads in the band might, you know. I'm pretty sure they were on, like, that tape or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right, there was all self-release stuff, was it?
Oh yeah.
And
we've only ever done one release, right, where there was 2 labels involved. This is with the Nilz now.
Is this the
Nobody told us
thing?
that. No, Polydor was Mongo Horns. That's different. The release of the 2 labels was the Toy Box EP that we released, the split EP with Existence. And nobody had told us that you need to get your songs remastered like to a certain level to go onto vinyl. So we just send them the CD masters, and they never remastered it or anything like that, and just put it onto the vinyl as like the CD masters. So when you put the fucking needle onto the record, it just shoots it up as soon as the bass.
How much did that cost us?
It didn't cost us fuck all because there was 2 labels involved. They paid for it. Like,
thank fuck.
They literally uses. Well, sorry, they're not uses. They're not uses. One side of them will play. The existing side will play, but our side won't play. Yeah. I think they're still for sale. I think they're still for sale somewhere and everything like that.
Okay. You must have been sick at the time, though, were you? How about you just laughed?
I just didn't believe it at the time. Everybody was saying,
sounds like the sort of thing you'd be like, fuck off, seriously, what's wrong here?
This thing doesn't play. It's like, it's your fucking record player's piece of shit. Like, it's fucking this, it's that, like, you know. And then I got talking to Mick Richards from Track Mixer, we work with a lot. And he was like, oh yeah, I never remastered them things for vinyl for you. Like, I was like, what? You needed to do what? It's like bollocks. Yeah. He would have done it now, fair play to me. He's fucking great guy.
Yeah. Have you been going with him just since it's been the Nilz, or just go forward or back? Because he's going since.
No, just with the Nilz. Everything we've done with the Nilz has been with Mick Richards. Like, yeah. Mongo Horn was with Tommy O'Sullivan, and then we went to, for the second album, we went to Jealoustown. I can't even remember the guy that we did it with in Jealoustown, but he didn't like us at all, you know. Just didn't. He didn't like the whole Carry On, didn't like the fucking songs or anything like that. So it was like, was trying to get us in.
How did you find Nick? Did someone tell him to you, or did you just see him online? Or
yeah, well, our old drummer introduced to him, Gimpboy. He said,
I found him through a drummer as well. I was just like, where can you record if you'd like? Because obviously, you can't fucking sing or shit like that. So I was like, where can I go that somebody will be like, yeah, I've used vocals like yours before, and they're like, Track Mix.
Yeah. But he's done everything.
Exactly,
he's done fucking everything, you know, yeah. And he's now guy.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I've been going to him for about 6 years now, so. But I was going to say, so you've got with the Nilz, it's like an album, and is it 2 EPs?
There's 2 EPs and a split, yeah, and then the album.
How come you went with an album after doing the EPs? Just because you had that amount of songs, or?
We didn't use any of we just completely wrote the album, like, off the bat, you know. You need to do an album, like, you know what I mean? You can't just keep doing EPs.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if there was any kind of deeper thought process, or you just like, fuck it, we've done 2 EPs, let's throw out an album.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like that. Like, I'm not doing another fucking EP. Like, I'm just going to wait and write all these songs. And then COVID really helped as well. Like, you know, being with a lot of time to sort of sit down and start writing and playing and practicing and that, like, you know, so it just all fucking came out of me all at the one time. Like, within the space of sort of like 3 months, I had fucking 13 songs, like, you know.
Yeah, what way do you write? Like, do you all write kind of separately and just bring shit to practice, or do you send shit to each other? Or
I would write the songs and structure them myself at home and bring them down to rehearsals. I showed them to Chris. Chris had showed them to the other lads how they need to be playing them, like, you know. And then we'll go through something really basic. Gaz will try and come up with. Gaz is brilliant at like coming up with beats. Like, he's a phenomenal drummer. And then it's like, right, well, let's try and structure it, and let's try and get, you know, Martha's guitars were really sort of, a lot of them were kind of muddied at the start of, you know, when we were structuring the song. So we were like, well, let's get you trying to play a different style, like, you know, because he plays like blues rock kind of style.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really gonna fit well a lot of these songs. So like, he had a big challenge, like, to try and sort of change almost his style of playing and listen to, like, he really had to let go of his ego and just try and let us guide him into what he was playing, and then like trust himself, like, to play it, which he did. Like, and like he's a phenomenal human being to, like, you know, let go of his ego like that, because he's a great guitarist, like, you know, he's a fucking great guitarist. But to let go of his ego and just let somebody like an idiot like me tell him, no, what you're playing there, what you're playing this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To trust that, like, it's fair fucks to him, like, you know.
Absolutely, and it is hard to fucking jump styles, like, especially for you.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Well, it's even harder when you have a fucking idiot like me telling, like, you know, you know what I mean? I think you should play it like this, man. You know, the guy's a fucking brilliant guitarist. He's looking at me going, fuck you, I'd say.
Yes. And then when you're releasing stuff, I was just wondering, because I know I get this shit myself where I'm like, this is the record, where people are like, oh, fucking Stranger Ones. You know what I mean? What do you feel like after the record drops? Does it feel like you're taking a massive shite? Does it feel like, do you expect it to do something for you? Or is it just like, we have these songs? And
to be honest, yeah, like, we've been so busy since we released it because we made a plan, you know what I mean, of what we were gonna. Well, we made a plan of what we were gonna fucking do, like, you know, there was gonna be a campaign as regards videos, interviews, stuff like that. Like a lot of it didn't come true now, like and reviews and stuff. Like we find it very hard to get a review.
Oh, same as it.
I fucking don't know why. Do you know what I mean?
So because you're not paying someone.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. As you need PR like to fucking go and get these fucking reviews like.
And it's literally just that. It's like you pay the PR, fucking like it's extortionate money. And like you can send the exact same email as them, but it's just theirs get open because of the fucking contacts they have and shit.
Yeah.
Because I was doing fucking 40, 50 hours of PR work and we got fucking all views.
Just mad, man.
So, yeah, it's just
mad, yeah.
Well, yeah, like the industry kind of fucking looks after its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all try each other a bit of business and pay.
Yeah. I need to take a piss, bro.
Where away, yeah. What was we talking about? Just fucking bringing out the album and all that. Yeah. I get what you mean with the fucking having all these plans, like the far out video concepts and shit we've had, and then you end up putting out like fucking lyric video, shit like that.
Yeah, I really like your video, and it fucking broke my heart when I think I was listening to you doing an interview, and Rennick said, "I just went to some site and fucking put that video together." Like, I fucking love that video. I was like, "You bastards!" Yeah, your videos are great. Your videos are great. Like I really like them, man.
Cheers, man. Yeah, we try and do just something that we don't think like if everyone like you just put like thought and shit into your videos, but there's a lot of bands that just put out like visualizers and stuff like even though we just did it for that perception video. It was weird.
Yeah. I can't stand those videos where they're in a rehearsal room. Do you know what I mean? Like one is all right, but like every fucking video is the same rehearsal room. You're like, why?
And it's always pirate as well, isn't it?
Pirate, yeah. I love pirate. I think it's fucking great.
I said it why, because I remember fucking used to be like 4 hours 50 quid for a rehearsal or something like that. And then you go pay for 2 hours there for 24 or something. Yeah. So
and you don't have to deal with anybody in the phone. Like I'm fucking trying to ring people and let me look through the book.
Yeah.
Oh, my mate's in that night, so you can't have the fucking room. Like, oh, fuck off, like, you know.
Or you get there and the gear's not set up in the first half an hour of your time. There's them fucking putting the mics up and shit like that. But yeah, it does feel very Starbucksy, but like fuck it.
It is. Yeah. Totally. I get you that way. Like it's guilty. There's like this guilt involved there. Like, oh, it's just a big, massive fucking global company or what? Like, you know.
And I was going to ask you, how do you feel about like fucking Spotify and shit like that? Are you a fan or?
No, you know, I couldn't give a fuck. Like, you know, honestly, couldn't give a shit. But I think you can find bands really easier through Spotify than anywhere else, I think.
Yeah. It's good for that, alright.
Yeah. But there is that, like, oh, they have racist podcasts on their fucking whatever, like, you know. Like, I don't make any money from Spotify. None of us do, like, so.
I think a couple of times you get like 50 quid twice a year or something like that. I think so.
We get fucking nothing. I don't get anything from Spotify.
Who do you send your music to? Is it DistroKid or CD?
DistroKid, yeah. But we like the only people we make money from are, you know, selling merch on Bandcamp, like, you know. Yeah. That's the only way we make it, or doing gigs. Yeah. Certain gigs we get paid. We get paid really good money for certain support slots, like, you know, and then get offered 50 quid, like, you know, to do a gig, you know, halfway across the country, like, then, yeah, like, oh, fuck off. Like,
I think I know the gigs you're talking about when you're getting there.
Of course you do. Everybody fucking knows what I'm talking about. And I like the guy. That's the thing. I fucking like the guy.
Yeah.
But it's like I've had this conversation with him. I was like, you're really nice. You're fucking. I honestly like you. Your fucking sound and what you're doing for the punk scene. I don't know what he's doing for anything else. but like bringing big punk bands over here is fucking great and all that. But you can't offer 50 quid to a fucking band like us to travel to Belfast on a Sunday afternoon to play a support slot. Like,
we did that 2 weeks ago. And we're still waiting on the 50 as well.
No way. I was really drunk one night and I threatened to stab him because he didn't give us a support slot for the dwarves. Like, yeah. And it was on Messenger, like, you know, so I'd say you have to right. If I ever do stab him.
Just type in the search word, fucking stab you.
Yeah. Promoters.
Yeah.
We used to have a fucking awful thing in Dublin. I don't know whether you would remember Paid to Play.
Vaguely, yeah. Because I remember when I was finishing school, like I was in a band and we were trying to get gigs straight away, and yeah, you had to buy a certain amount of tickets off them up front and all this shit. Like,
fucking leeches, man, absolute parasites, and they're still fucking going around. Like,
it's funny, and the Air Force years a band, then like we probably got paid for 2 of the gigs or something. They were like fucking 12 or 13 we played. It's only since like we came back in the pandemic and all, like we can finally say no to gigs. We said yeah to everything in the first year. As you do, you kind of feels like paying your dues a bit, but
I definitely paid you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. But
you gave me grief from this. You gave me grief from the stage and everything when I put you on.
We sucked back then. I hope we've got fucking cars.
I know, like, a bit of attitude was great. Like, what was like, we're not grunge punk. What are you talking about? I call you just weirdos.
I still don't know what to call us.
Yeah. Very unique. Very fucking unique, man.
Nice, man. Just another thing, actually. Have you noticed the scene getting much better over the years? Has it got like less people in it, or is there more people in it?
Way more, way better. Friendlier, more fun. People enjoy themselves more. Younger crowd now as well. It's way better.
Yeah, that's class. Yeah, because I remember the first time, fresh out of school trying to get gigs, it seemed like there was absolutely fucking nothing on the go.
Yeah.
And now it seems like there's, hustle and bustle straight. And there's loads more promoters are starting to spot up like RPC and fucking, no, it's not like Relapse.
Relapse, yeah. Well, Relapse was needed, right? Because it's certainly in the punk scene anyway. There used to be a thing in Cork called the Rebel County Drunk Punks. And they were the ones that started all the punk gigs in Cork. But they all grew up and moved away and stuff like that. And it was a real shame because, like, for I think maybe 20 years, there was the original Rebel County Drunk Punks, right? And they brought through all the younger guys and taught them how to put on gigs and showed them what was going on and all that. And then all them younger guys took over, like. But they then all sort of dissipated and left the scene, moved away, stuff like that, like, So there was a real drought in Cork. That like Relapse was needed down there, and like it's great that it's kids doing it. I fucking love that. I love that it's kids doing it and not fucking grizzled old cunts like me.
They definitely, and they seem ambitious as well. Like they did a gig in fucking church and stuff like that recently. It was like they put on a black metal gig. I think that was them, wasn't it? Yeah,
they've done gigs in cinemas, everything like that. They're like they've really got the finger on the pulse down there. They're shit together, like Limerick is a great spot as well. Limerick has, like, for punk anyway, it's great fucking punk bands coming out of it. Galway is great punk bands coming out of it. For some reason, they don't like us down there.
Never played Galway. We've never played it.
They're so fucking right on and PC. Like, we find it very hard to break into that scene, like, Like, the last gig we did in Galway, I got loads of grief after it for stuff that I was doing on stage, like, And I don't think it was warranted, like, Like the grief I got, I don't think it was warranted, but like whatever, I don't give a shit. Belfast is great.
You book the nails, again, like.
Yeah, well, you come to a fucking gig, like.
Yeah. Especially
what are you paying your fucking money in for, like, that sort of shit, like, just to give me grief. Anyway, I won't go into that because if we go into that, like, I'll get into there was a lot of vagina talk.
And I was going to ask you, What's next then? Like, I know you've a good bit of shit coming up.
Well, we don't actually. We've 2 gigs coming up this year, and they'll be our last gigs this year. You know, Dancing the Underground. Have you ever heard of that club?
No.
Right. Well, you need to fucking go to that club because they are doing the best work for the young scene at the moment that's been done fucking anywhere in the country. They have a Monday night club right in Fibbers downstairs, and it is fucking rammed from 8 o'clock till closing with
That's class.
the classest fucking crowd. Like they dress themselves up, they paint their faces, they're goths, they're punks, they're fucking metalers, they're everything. They're fucking nothing at the same time. Like they're fucking brilliant. And the music is brilliant. But they're having their year anniversary Friday, November the 4th. And we're gonna be playing at it like some. And there's drag queens actually on the night as well, like, you know, so it'll be a bit of laugh. But yeah, you should definitely check out that club, man.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, because there's something happening there, right? That nobody else has put their fucking finger on. I don't know how these lads have done it, but they fucking done it. But like, they are absolutely ramming the place on a Monday night. A fucking Monday night, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, and it's just all kids. So there's that, and then we're playing the Button Factory then with Paranoid Visions.
The 40th anniversary, isn't it?
The 40th anniversary, yeah. Called Deco.
Yeah.
The heights of the city.
That's December the 3rd, is it, or the 4th?
December 10th.
December 10th. Oh,
yeah.
Try to get that on. And then what about next year? Any big plans?
At the moment, like I said, we were in talks with Fibbers. They're trying to give us, well, we were looking for like the last Friday of every month that we can run a Buddycore show on. And we've a couple of ideas of what we want to do with regards. We kind of might do it as a team night thing, you know. So like a pop punk night, a fucking Riot Girl night, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like every night kind of be different every month, like, you know. So we can try and get as many bands as possible from around the country to play in Fibbers in Dublin. Like, we're hoping to get dates from them for Buddy Fest. If we don't, we'll get it somewhere else. But like, we want to bring that back because that's great. Like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, what we try and do is we try and get the sort of the leaders of every collective around Ireland to send us at least 1 or 2 bands, and then everybody in that room is somebody that organizes, you know. So like the connections that you can make at that is just, it's fucking great, like, you know. Like we were thinking of doing, you know, like a Lollapalooza thing.
Yeah.
We were talking to this Belfast band, Takers and Users, and we're thinking of doing like Budlapalooza, where we'll do like weekends or a Friday and Saturday we'll play like Cork and Limerick and Dublin and Belfast, something like that. Like, you know? Based on Mongohorn, right? Well, that's how we got roped into it. That's how me and Andy got roped into it. Anyway. we were talking to start, it was based on Mongohorn, but it's me, Andy, and Baz that used to be in Mongohorn together. Baz has written and directed it.
Is he filming it? Yeah.
Oh, it's done. It does it. We done it back in March. Baz is a nutter, right? He fucking like he says he's gonna do something. He fucking does it, irregardless of people telling him no, you fucking can't do that. Like, so he filmed the fucking feature film in 10 days, you know, which is mental, like, you know.
Yeah. So
and it was over. It wasn't just in one location. It was in fucking 32 locations or something like that. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. I've never acted in my life before, and we did like this sizzle reel, which is something that you do to sort of sell to the industry, to say like, oh, listen, I have this idea, I have this movie, this is what it's going to look like, these are the people that are in it, what do you think? I hated it, right? I hate it. fucking hated it. I told Baz all this thing. He's like, nah, you have to be in it, I was like, right, okay. He's my mate, so fucking, I was like, right, I'll do it. I was so drunk, man, from the first fucking day to the last fucking day. It was the only way I could get through it, like, you know, because I felt so self-conscious about everything, and actors are kind of bitchy, like, you know, they say things, they'll say things to you, and they don't even realize, like, I don't know whether they realize or they don't realize, or whether you know, there's a little, they do realize, but they kind of want you to not think that they realize they're being bitchy to you. Like, but some of the fucking things that were said to me on set, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
for the movie, for the movie based on your own fucking thing, people were
yeah. But I think a lot of it came from like, well, like I was like, I'm not a fucking actor. I don't know how to fucking do this shit, like, you know. And they would be actors, stage, and like having gone through college and all that. Like, I'm thinking this is their fourth feature film. Why the fuck is this loser who's not an actor, who's done no fucking training or anything like that, in the same, you know, scene as me? You know, I'm fucking it up. Like, why am I fucking up? Why do I have to deal with this idiot? Like, you know. So I think there was a lot of that. Like, but yeah, I did feel odd on set, but it was good laughs. Like, Joe Rooney was in it, and Joe Rooney played like the bass player in the band.
Was there a bit of a budget for it?
Huh?
Was there any kind of budget for it, or
I don't know? You'd have to ask.
Just with the amount of locations and real actors. I don't know if you're just going to rope in a lot of mates or something like that. But
no, you got actual actors in it. Like, yeah, Father Damo's in it. Father Damo, you know.
Yeah.
But by the end of and there was another guy, Rob McCarthy, I think his name was, or Rob something or other. He played the manager of the band in the movie. And I'm not messing with you. By the end of like the shoot, it was like we were they thought like we were a fucking band.
Yeah. That's class.
Like, I wrote 2 songs for the movie, and we played one of them. And Joe was like, dude, we should go fucking tour this. I was like, what are you talking about, Joe? You're not even in the fucking band. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
there's a method actor.
We should go fucking tour this, man. We got so like, I don't know, it was mad. It was like we were a band. Like,
yeah, you just got so bit into the character.
Yeah, when there was like down times and stuff like that in between shots, or somebody else was doing like their shots, like you'd find like me, Andy, Joe Rooney, and this guy Rob, who was the manager. We'd all be sitting together, like, and fucking chatting and all that, like we were the fucking band, and having a laugh and telling stories and that. And if we were away from each other, it was weird. So, I mean, somebody would be sleeping then, like they wouldn't talk to other people and all that sort of thing. Like, you know, it was fucking gas. Yeah.
And has it been sold anywhere? Like, or what way is it getting?
I don't know. I know the premiere is going to be in December, and then I think the actual release is going to be next March. You know. So. And
where's the premiere going to be held?
I think it's Greystone somewhere.
Oh,
Greystones, the Whale Theatre in Greystones. Is
that going to be like an invite event, or how'd you get a ticket?
I don't know either. I know I've been invited, but I don't think I can actually go. I don't think I can go. I think there's going to be a red carpet and everything like that. Which cracks me up. Can you imagine me walking down a fucking red carpet? Like, I'd own it.
In a 3-piece suit. Then shit on him.
Me Liberace camouflage on me.
And when it comes out in March, do you know what's happening?
I think it comes out in March. They're trying to make it like the Punk Commitments, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's going to be like that, to be honest with you. Like, a 10-day shoot for a feature film is just unheard of, like, you know.
It's punk.
Mad. Punk as fuck, yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah, I can't fucking wait to check that out. Hopefully I can fucking somehow get an advanced copy. Give me something to watch over the Christmas.
Yeah, I can't promise you anything. I don't think I should even be talking about like backstage or anything like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I got in an awful fight with some guy on fucking set about taking me mic off, and he's like, "We're the sound department. We're supposed to do that." It's like, you're standing around doing nothing. I need to get changed for another scene. I'm taking me fucking mic off. Like, no, fuck you. Like,
oh yeah, the way it's all tied to your shirt and all that shit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Apparently, you know, they're the ones that have to take that off you, so you have to wait for them.
Yeah, I said he was Hollywood.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, that'd be something. There's nothing like that's ever been done in the fucking scene, is there?
I don't know. I think there was definitely a movie sort of based on Paranoid Visions done back, don't know, was it late 80s or early 90s? And I know they're doing a documentary at the moment. That's been a couple of years coming. I think that's due for release maybe next year as well. So that'll be really good. because that's been a while they've been doing that. Like, you know,
Yeah. Oh,
over a
that'd be
couple of
class,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be really looking forward to seeing that now, to be honest with you. You know,
It's good to see so much shit happening like outside the traditional means, like the fucking movies and these weird venues that like relapse are using and all. It's good to see people thinking outside the box and doing all the shit.
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fucking great. Yeah, it feels real old school.
Yeah, it does. Like
Okay.
thinking outside the box because you know we're not going to get fucking. Why not? Like,
Yeah,
keep it interesting, keep it fun.
yeah. I need to start doing that myself because Dublin's hard to do that in. You know.
Yeah, it feels that even with like all the time constraints and all that. Like when you book a gig and you're trying like you can get there like an hour before you fucking have to go on or something. Like let's get there fucking 6 hours before and put some weird shit here and do some shit here and all.
That's what I liked about DDT. We like anytime we did a gig there, we could go in whatever time we fucking liked. Like there was a Buddy Fest that I made all these mannequins for, and like decorated the whole fucking venue in these weird mannequins. Like I'd put a strobe light and one of them cut their fucking eyes out. Like
yeah.
strobe lights and shit, like and collaged that all with serial killer shit and all of us. But like that was great about that place. Like, you know, they would let you do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, hopefully they get back on their feet.
Yeah, I really do hope they will. You know.
So anyone watching this, donate.
Donate, yeah, go fund me, fucking DDT or whatever.
All right, well, yeah, cheers, Ed. It's been a pleasure, and fucking till next one.
Hey, we have to fucking end it. Don't worry about that. You got that bit in. Now that was really sound of you, Jeff. Thanks, man.
No, whatever.